GDC is an opportunity for developers not only to show off their latest games, but to show off some awesome technology making those games possible. One piece of cool technology I found at this year's GDC is SpatialOS by the company Improbable. So this has been around for a few years. We covered it at GDC in 2015 as well. And this is a bit of technology that allows developers to create really massive multiplayer online worlds. And they have persistent elements, which is really cool. So Improbable recently announced a deal with Google to use Google's cloud backend to power this system that allows independent developers to create massively multiplayer online worlds. One game using SpatialOS is Worlds Adrift. We checked this one out on the floor.
So this is Worlds Adrift. It's a massively multiplayer sandbox that takes place in a world of floating islands, and you play scavengers, basically trying to piece together why the world became destroyed, shattered, and find technology and building your own skyship.
It's a huge game. It's a massive online game, hundreds of kilometers long, and you can travel to any island that you see. The cool thing is, everything is persistent because of SpatialOS. If you crash an airship, by the way, there are awesome airships in Worlds Adrift. If you crash an airship, it will stay crashed until another player finds it and scavenges all the materials for themselves. But every player will be able to see that ship. It's not going to disappear into the land. So in Worlds Adrift, it's not your traditional kind of MMO. You're not going to level up your character or anything, but you are going to craft new items and level up your weapons, your tools, and all your accessories.
We had such a good response from it. We've now actually got to the point where the entire world is all handcrafted. We've got over 3,500 islands now. You really do get to explore these handcrafted worlds.
One really cool feature of Worlds Adrift is the ability to basically SpiderMan around the entire environment. You have a grappling hook that shoots right out of your arm, and you can swing from rocks and then climb up and find these amazing new landscapes that you couldn't get to just by walking. Worlds Adrift players have already created thousands of islands. So this is something that is going to feel a little more custom, a little more unique than something that's procedurally generated, which eventually does have a pattern that you can see in the world. Another game we saw on the GDC floor was Vanishing Stars. This also uses SpatialOS to allow players to interact with each other on a really large scale. It's set in space, and you are on a planet. It's a cartoonish, neon, really bright, friendly-looking planet. But there are enemies coming at you. It's a little bit of tower defense, it's a little bit of real-time strategy.
And once I have a planet, I will be able to leverage my technology to navigate in space, explore the galaxy, find new planets to conquer, and expand my empire. We are able with the SpatialOS technology to instantiate planets depending on the number of players. And it's a persistent world, so once we have created new planets, they stay in the galaxy and everywhere forever.
The cool thing that SpatialOS allows in this game is players can help each other out. So you can send a beacon out from a planet and another player can pick it up and send you resources or maybe even invade you. Now that Improbable has announced its partnership with Google, I would expect to see even more games coming out using this technology. Worlds Adrift is created by a studio of about 12 people, and Vanishing Stars is just 2 or 3 people working on it. So these are huge games made by really small teams, and that's a really important step for the industry.